I look at the world as one giant melting pot and like a giant intergenerational experience. Because even my parents are like, I don't understand what's going on. And so there's always an opportunity to educate, right?
I'm Kristen.
And I'm Sharon.
And we're here to spill the tea.
Long Island tea.
Yay, we're back. Well, we're kind of back. So Sharon, I know. Sharon, if you cannot tell, is at a different location.
Yeah.
You're in your basement.
I'm in my basement. It's fine.
It's really cute.
That's how we do right now. It's okay.
Yeah. For everyone watching and listening, Sharon is in her basement because we are still amidst a pandemic, as you all know. And Sharon was exposed to someone who was positive. And even though you have a negative rapid test, you're feeling fine, you're doing good, we're extra safe here at Discover Long Island. And
we have to be.
Yeah, we're extra safe. So we're getting like the long-term test, and you'll know on Sunday. So we're like, okay, work from home, quarantine until we know, because safety is everything.
Absolutely. And it's just as easy. We could do this as our Zoom in right now, you know?
No.
Sharon,
I'm drinking alone. I mean, you're drinking with me, thank God.
I'm drinking. I went and got.
But now I have this entire bottle by myself.
It's okay.
I mean, I'll manage.
Yeah.
Somehow.
You'll be fine.
I'll struggle through. But it's not the same without having you here next to me. But I just want to let people know that, you know, it is really, really important to always err on the side of safety these days and to make sure that we are taking every precaution to protect the people that we love and to make sure that we can curtail this thing and mitigate it and move forward with our economy. In fact, there was, Sharon, I guess I should start with how you doing.
I was going to say, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing good. What a good week this was, right?
I know. It's been, we're normally like, what a year this week has been. But today we're like, wow, this was a good week.
It was such a good week. And I feel so much momentum going into the weekend and the next week. And I mean, you are super glam because you're quarantining your basement. I was just running around having meetings. So I don't know if you've been outside today, but
this weather,
winter is here. Okay. And I'm fully wind blown and like wind chill.
You look great.
In my face. So it's been a fun week. So one of the things we are celebrating this week is the start of Black History Month.
Yeah,
on Long Island, which is awesome. And
Mm-hmm.
we just unveiled our new Black History Month Long Island TV episode.
It was so cute. I loved it. I loved it. It was so good.
I
loved having county executive on there as well. I mean, that was a really good
county executive
exposure.
from Nassau County, Laura Curran.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the African American Museum. I loved Miss Pierce. Like, I want to go hang out with her.
She's legend.
She is. She was awesome.
She is legend. You know what? The best thing about this job is what we get to learn about Long Island and what we get to experience. And I feel so truly privileged. And then I had never been to the African American Museum in Nassau County.
Right.
It's right there on Franklin Street, right there on the main street.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. And the building alone has so much history. It started out.
I know. When did you, 19?
Yeah, 1950. In the 50s, it started out as like a very high-end fashion store. And then it became, like Sonic Studios, music studios.
I know.
Miss Pierce was telling me all about
it. That was so cool.
Miss Pierce was so funny. She's like, oh, the Doobie Brothers and Billy Joel. And then she's like, Hall & Oates. I'm like, I'm sorry. Did you say Hall & Oates? I'm sorry, Yacht Rock. Yes, you're speaking about.
Exactly.
It was the pianos that I thought it was going to be just history, but it was so much more than just people in there. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Artifacts
were amazing. They're all donated. That was amazing to know.
And the art. Did
that
you see
one
the art
basketball artifact? Yeah, that was awesome from a dentist's office. That was so cool.
So cute. And
it was done by a local artist on Long Island.
Yeah. And she was awesome. She is such a treasure. I kept telling her because she had more and more and more information. And I was like, are you writing this down? I was like, Miss Pierce, is this written anywhere? I'm like, is somebody.
Right. It was just her. was
is
in her head.
somebody recording this? Can you do a voice recording? Do you? I'm like, are you recorded? Because it's all right here in her head.
Right.
And, it's important. It's like, one person really can make a difference in
Definitely.
the passion and everything that she does. I need to talk about Winnie's.
Oh my gosh. She was awesome.
Chef T.
And then, oh my gosh, that was so awesome.
I love
The picture of her mom.
I did not want to leave there.
I know. You can hang out there all day. And too bad it's a takeout. You can't, you just couldn't hang out.
It's a takeout. And let me tell you, I ate all that food that you saw me take away.
Awesome. It was delicious.
I brought home that food. And I told her husband, Terrence, who was also equally adorable, because I was like, look, they gave me some they were like demoing some food for the show. And then I was like, listen, I'm going to buy some food here because I'm like, because here's the deal. My family watches the show and they're going to see it. They're going to be like, what'd you
bring me?
Right. I'm going to pay the price.
But I wanted to know, what was that? Was it like a sweet potato thing?
Oh my God. Okay. So I was like, what are we going to have here? And she was so cute. I got almost everything. So she had a mac and cheese that was lobster shrimp mac and cheese. That was my first choice. And that's what she was talking about in the show where she's like, I'm allergic. And I was like, I'll take your portion.
Wow.
Yeah. And then her signature or her sweet potatoes, which she called, yams, but her signature is that she puts pineapples in them. Oh my God. It's like candy. Oh my God. It was like candy. And I also had...
sounds like it.
I had some cabbage, which was awesome. And it's funny because you didn't see it on the show, but she and I were talking that I just watched this whole Food Network show that cabbage is the vegetable of 2021.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't know. You could put a cabbage in front of me. You could put most food. I don't know how to prepare any kind of food, as you know.
Right.
But especially cabbage, I was like, I don't know what to do with this. So I was like, can I have some of that? So that I just saw this show. I want to taste it. And what else did we have? Oh my God, she had rice.
What did you do with it? What did you do with the cabbage? That was, normally just boil it, right?
Oh, I don't know what she does. I don't know her magic.
All right.
It's some kind of sorcery.
And her mom's magic. I mean,
I know.
Definitely.
I don't know how she does what she does, but she, you meet some people along the way and their energy is just magnetic, and it's a truly family-owned business. Winnie is her mom, and she's expanding into a new location. Anyway, Long Island TV, watch it. I'm giving away the whole show, but it was...
You can find it on YouTube and Discover Long Island.
Thank you, Sharon. We have a very special guest on today, Alicia Ray.
Awesome.
Speaking of Black History Month, and this is a topic that, I'm very excited to highlight throughout the whole month of February, because we said it in one of our earlier shows, like Long Island has such an incredible, rich history. Not all good, by the way. Not all the history is good. But you know what? We are constantly growing, evolving, learning, and coming from a different destination, one of my favorite things about Long Island is our diversity. And I will say New York. I mean, we're New York. Yeah. We're connected to Manhattan. We are the entrance of the world. The best thing about New York, our greatest asset, are our immigrants. We're all immigrants, first of all. Our diversity, our acceptance. That's what makes New York so cool, right? We lead
definitely.
that. We lead that stuff. We're like, we're New York. What are you talking about? We love everybody. We accept it. Let's do this. So we have
We're New York tough, right?
We're New York tough. And you know what? And we love everybody. And we are the entrance to America. We are the Statue of Liberty, right? We are the beacon of the American dream and hope. And we have a long way to go. We're not perfect, right?
Nope.
But
there's always room for improvement.
One of the things when we were prepping this meeting, we were talking to our special guest, who is Alicia Ray, and she's with Black-owned Long Island. And we were like, hey, we want to talk to you about all the wonderful businesses that we can highlight and support. And she knows that we drink wine every episode. And she goes, oh, there's actually a great Black-owned wine shop in Sayville, which is not that far from
I know.
Me. And I'm like, oh, do tell. So we looked them up, and they're on Instagram as well, and it's Down the Rabbit Hole Wine Shop. what's it called? Down the Rabbit. It's called Down the Rabbit Hole Long Island Wines or something like that.
And they're adorable.
Okay.
They're adorable.
First of all, I fell in love with them on Instagram.
Yeah,
I feel like
me too. And I
yeah.
did a little research on their website. She was a wine enthusiast on the North Fork, and she just decided to start her own business, and she's doing great. I mean, how is it? Is it delicious?
Okay,
Because I'm
so
not
Sharon,
there.
you're not here. You're not here.
Right.
So we bought a bunch of their wines. And
But
this
I
is the
love.
one-
Can you say the name? Because it's
Yeah. Oh,
it's
I'm going to say the
encompassed
name.
to you, right?
So it was. I got to tell you, shopping for their wines on the internet was so fun. First of all, they have
Yeah.
adorable packages. So if you're
Even their website is adorable.
their website's adorable, their Instagram's adorable. Their daughter was just going back to college. They're hiring a part-time position, by the way, right now. I was like, they're
That's
so
awesome.
cute. I loved them. I felt like they're going to be weirded out by me right now because I feel like I'm a little bit stalkerish. Like, you know, the people that follow
Right.
you on social media and they know
Right.
too much about you and you're like,
How'd you know that? Wait, what? Sorry.
you're getting weird.
Slow down.
But I feel like I know them. So, and then I went on their website, and so we bought 4 bottles. We're going to drink 1 bottle a week for the month of Black
Yep.
History Month, and we're going to highlight them because I had so much fun shopping for their bottles. Also,
Just
they're
even the name of her business is adorable. Down the rabbit hole.
down the rabbit hole, which is exactly what I
awesome.
did on their website.
Right.
So a
Right.
lot of their stuff is sold out, by the way, because they're
Really?
killing it, you know, and they
That's
have
awesome. Good.
I think what I was most impressed was the quality and of wines and the varietals of wines that they have from all over. But
Right.
I feel like, you know, Sharon, I enjoy wine. We're part.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
members of wine clubs. We order
Right.
wine on the internet all the time. But these are a bunch of wines I had never heard of, and they were so fun. So the one I picked, the red wine that I'm drinking today, because you're not here, and I
Right.
saved. We were going to drink the Chardonnay, but I'm saving that for you.
Thank
I was
you.
like, I cannot drink
I'm
the
drinking
Chardonnay
red
without
with
Sharon.
you, but
Yeah, I was like, I told Alyssa, I'm like, cut it.
I'm gonna save that for my
save
girl.
The Chardonnay. But this one's called Passion Has Red Lips.
I love it. I know. That's what I was like. I think you need to say the name of the actual wine because you are constantly wearing red lips, right?
Where are you? Okay, so I just want to read a little bit about it. DownTheRabbitHoleWines.com. So it's DTRHWines.com. And the owner is Jessica Green. She began her career as a boutique vineyard in the North Fork, as you said. And she's a sommelier. I mean, this is no joke.
I love it.
This is no...
It's no joke.
This isn't your
exactly.
corner wine store. You know what I mean? That the guy is just
right.
like...
Exactly.
This is no joke. And they do education, personal and virtual wine tastings. So this is called, and the maker of this is called Some Young Punks. I mean,
I think that's so cool.
Some Young Punks, Passion
It's
Has
so-
Red Lips. And I'm going to read the description because you're not here. Normally you do this for me, but it says,
Yeah.
assertive aromas of raspberry liqueur, potpourri, and peppery spices are complemented by a suave floral quality. Smooth, sweet, and seamless, offering vibrant red fruit and floral pastel flavors that take a darker turn to blackberry with air. Finishes
That's
sweet
awesome.
and long with harmonious tannins and a hint of candied flowers. And that's the other cool thing about their website. Each wine has a description like that. We'll read them every week, but
Right.
really gives you a sense of what you're ordering and
Yeah.
what you're going to get and makes it exciting. All the names of all the wines we got are so cute. I can't wait to tell you each week.
I know. It's so cute. I love it. And I love their marketing, like even just the label. I think that
Oh my God.
it's beautiful and artsy and fun. So cute.
Yeah, and listen, it's part of what Black History Month is about, and what this whole diversity and inclusion movement that's happening across the country is about is awareness and expansion and reaching out and finding ways to bring in our community together. And so I appreciate Alicia for telling us about this company because I was like, what? And now we're in love. And
now we're in love and we're invested and we're going to be talking about this wine every week this month. I think that's going to be so cool. I'm jealous that you're drinking it and I'm not.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'll get there.
Yeah, I'm going to take it home this weekend. I love you, but I'm not leaving it here.
It's fine.
I'm going to take it home. I'm going to enjoy it.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
so I'd like at this time, Sharon, if that's okay, I would like to introduce our esteemed guest who we've been talking about in third person, awkwardly. Alicia Ray, thank you so much. You're founder and creative director of Black-Owned Long Island. Black-Owned Long Island is a curated guide to Black-owned Long Island business brands, Long Island-based brands, and their founders. The platform is created out of a need to find and support businesses and organizations that are owned and operated by Black entrepreneurs and influencers to continue to build a wealth in the Black communities on Long Island. And I welcome you and I applaud you for this. And I'll tell you, because it's interesting, we established a diversity and inclusion board for Discover Long Island, an advisory board, just, to move us forward and to make sure that we're doing everything at the best of our ability and to constantly evolve and grow. And one of our board members, Wilfred Joseph, is amazing, and he's the head of the B&B Association on the North Fork. He's been a board member for 7 years, and he runs a B&B. He was it struck me on the call because he said, I used to not designate myself as a Black-owned business. I would try to hide it. And now he's like, it's been a struggle for me to go back and tell people because now people are seeking it out. And now I'm like trying to figure out all the ways where I need to go back and make sure I am designated as a Black-owned business because people are seeking that out. What say you, Alicia? Welcome.
Thank you. That was amazing. And I was like, we're having a real conversation about this. It's so easy to gloss over the topic, but I'm so happy to be here. Thank you guys for inviting me to the party. I also have my wine.
I love it.
Drinking a red blend by the McBride sisters called Black Girl Magic.
Ooh, Black Girl Magic.
That's fun.
Okay, I'm writing that down.
Yeah, that's another good one. Got to put that on your list.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe down the rabbit hole too. But no, it's interesting that you lean into the conversation this way because I'm so happy to hear that more Black-owned businesses feel comfortable identifying as Black-owned because that's been it's almost taboo and paradoxical to, talk about this topic even within the Black community. In the past, I didn't want anyone to know that some of the things that I was doing on the side was actually being run by a Black person because it was just weird, right? It's like a weird conversation. It's like, well, I don't want you to support me because I'm Black. I want you to support me because I have a good product. But I would say, Black-owned Long Island, and if it's okay to kind of just jump into it.
Please
do.
So I spent some time at Long Island University. I'm not even from Long Island. I've only lived here for 10 years. Grew up in Florida.
Another transplant.
And I'm like every New York transplant. I only have $75 and a computer, and I made my way. My story.
Mm-hmm.
But, growing up for me, and I'm also Jamaican. So I grew up in a very rich, diverse background. My mom's Chinese Jamaican, her dad's Chinese, and then we're Black. And it's this giant melting pot of just so many beautiful cultures that when I got here, it was like, okay, all right, New York's a melting pot, but Long Island, this is different. And while there's a lot of diverse families that live out here, in some cases, things like getting my hair done was a little tricky because it was like, oh, I don't know if they can handle my texture hair. That's weird. Okay. And so fast forward, I went to Long Island University and grabbed a master's degree in interactive media arts. And it's some really great instructors there that really empowered me to think big and solve all of the world's problems. And so I started coding a website, which today is blackownedlongisland.com. And why did I do that? I wanted to find a hairstylist. I wanted to find someone who could do my hair. I wanted to find a Jamaican restaurant because I was homesick and I missed my home cooked meals. And so for me, it was so hard to find those businesses. And not that they didn't exist, they just didn't have the money to throw into advertising, right? They didn't have the money to market themselves, as some other businesses typically do. They weren't well funded in a way. They weren't getting a lot of resources. And so I was like, all right, I'm a good person. I've got some skills. Let me make this my gift to the community. And so since then, Black-owned Long Island has literally taken off. And with the renewed interest in the Black Lives Matter movement, they broke the site in June.
Yeah, we were talking to you and you were like, I'm crazy busy. I'm like, cheers. That's awesome. I mean, what great news. But, I think most great success stories like yours, entrepreneurial stories, the reason why they're successful is because they're born out of a void, out of a real, like you said, it was a real need for you. And you recognized it for you. And you're like, oh, wow. And then clearly if it's a need for you, it's a need for everybody else in the community too.
Yeah.
So thank goodness that you did what you did to be poised and ready for this movement.
Yeah. And look, I always look at it this way, right? Like the site and this whole movement is not biased against any other business, right? Like we spend our money everywhere. But I think when it comes on to Black-owned businesses, like we understand that there is a genuine need, specifically a need for resources, a need for, mentoring and training and development. What better way to create a catalyst for these businesses and these companies and these brands by bringing awareness? Because a lot of them have 9-to-5 jobs, which is crazy. I'm like, so you're running a restaurant and
it's a second business, right?
That's crazy. Yeah. And so, for me as an entrepreneur and someone who's spent their fair share of time in corporate America, it was just so I genuinely also felt the pain. And so it was just like, what can I do to help? Like, I grew up doing a lot of community service. I'm a part of an amazing sorority, which I'm very, very active today, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And I met my husband during community service. And so for me, it was only natural to use my tools, right? And use my passion, to your point, to fill a need. And so while I support all businesses, and while I do spend my dollars pretty much anywhere local, because I'm big on spending local, I thought it was important to also create a, lane or area of focus that really helped to, empower Black-owned business owners and really connect them with the people that were interested in their product.
Yeah, and I'm glad you say that, Alicia, because we feel the exact same way. And we started, one of our first interviews of this podcast was Locally Bred, where we just really focused on just Long Island local businesses. And it just so happens that it's February, and we, when we are doing our editorial calendar, we're like, what is happening throughout the year? This is Black History Month. We want to highlight it all month of February, which is amazing. But you know what? Next month is Women's History Month. And we're going to be doing the same thing for women and women-owned businesses. And we always work with the LGBT network. And June, we're going to be lifting up the LGBT network, LGBTQ, and we're going to be making sure we do that. And then we were just looking at the Native American community and the Asian Indian community here. And so you're right. Like, while we're focusing on this for the month of February, and we love Black-owned businesses all year round, but this gives us a platform and a topic to raise the awareness, we agree with you that throughout the year, we're going to be talking about all of the diversity and really when you define, one of the things we said to our advisory committee is let's define diversity and inclusion and what that means, because it's genders and it's generations, right? We got a Gen Zer on there, and we get to listen to what he says,
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I look at the world as one giant melting pot and like a giant intergenerational experience. Because even my parents are like, I don't understand what's going on. And so there's always an opportunity to educate, right? People in the moment. And yes, Black History Month is not just in February. Right. It's not just Martin Luther King Day. We shouldn't only recognize women in the month of March. I think you guys are doing an amazing job by evening that playing field and really, opening up kind of an opportunity for us all to come together and raise our voices about the things that are important to us, because we're human first. Let's start there.
Right, right.
Yeah, Sharon?
I was just going to ask you, you just decided one day to just start coding a website. I mean, that's amazing in itself, like the knowledge alone in coding a website. But just for where do you stand now as, is it just a listing on your website? Like, can you explain it a little bit for us?
Yeah. So it started out as a directory. So here's the deal. On social media, right, people would say, oh, this is Black owned. This is Black owned. Oh, I heard about this spot, but no one ever really took the time to organize the information. And I'm a little neurotic, everything has its place.
Right.
So
right.
I was like, oh, okay, this is how we're going to make this work. We're going to create a directory and we're going to list all of them by categories and we're going to show photos because I'm also a marketing person. And so I'm very visual and I'm an artist. And so I'm like, everything has to come together and it has to make sense. And everyone has to be able to understand it regardless of how old you are, regardless of your socioeconomical background. Like you just need to be able to see information in the most basic form and do something with it. And then it became hard. It was like, okay, I can't drive to every single restaurant and every single like boutique and every single doctor's office to like feature these people. Right. So I started, suggesting, oh, go ahead and claim your business. And then everyone's like, I don't have time. I don't have time. None of them have time. So
nobody has time.
No one has time. And then I realized people just weren't using it. Word of mouth is kind of like the best marketing tool ever. I decided to invest less time and less resources. And when I say resources, I am the resource.
I was just going to ask you, is it just you or do you have a team?
It's just me right now. I also have an intern who, to kind of segue into the next part of that, I focused less on the directory because I'm like, okay, fine. This is super hard to maintain and no one's really looking at it. I literally started going out and just featuring the businesses. I was like, okay, directory, it's working, but not so much. How can I amplify? So now I have an intern who goes to Clark Atlanta, who's unfortunately home because of, the pandemic.
COVID,
She's a journalism student, really looking for on-camera opportunity. And so I love to give and I love to help unlock opportunities because that's what worked for me in my
stepping stones, right?
Exactly. Like reach back for the person behind you.
Yeah.
So we started going around and blogging about these businesses. And I'm like, I'm also a big foodie.
Cool.
Love food.
Have you been to Winnie's?
I have not been to Winnie's, but I plan on going this weekend.
Okay, it is
Me too.
So good. I was telling our colleague Imran about it. I was like, and he's like, I need to talk to him because he was like, I think I'm going to pick it up tonight. This is the other night. I was like, no.
He's a foodie, big time.
It is so amazing and good. And you know what? I feel like there's something, it's just, it's truly home cooked, like made with love, comfort food.
Soul food.
Soul food.
Yeah. Well, you know what she likes to say, and I want to make sure I represent her correctly because it's international takeout. So it's Southern food with international flavors because I think it's just her own flair. And she made this Rasta pasta dish for me with shrimp and pasta, and it was spicy. I have to tell you, I was like trying to explain Winnie, and I was like, if Cardi B and like Bobby Flay had a baby, you know what I mean? Because she is like so talented and her food was so delicious, but she was like, my nails, she had the nails and she's like, they're purple and gold. And she was so funny. She was so funny. She's like, your family now, girl. So normally this is 3 shrimp. She's like, I'm not even looking. I don't even know how many shrimp I'm throwing. I don't even know.
Just throwing it in.
Can you put in a word for me?
Right?
I was like, I'm
dying for those sweet potatoes.
I'm just saying. Those sweet potatoes. Oh my God. Thomas was like, my fiance, he was like, I don't like sweet potatoes. I'm like, okay. He's like, oh God, these are so good. They were so good.
Sweet potatoes is a hit or miss though. Depends.
They are. They really are.
And they're really sweet. I want to make sure, they're super sweet, but it's like dessert.
Right.
Anyway, I just loved her story. I love that she's a business that is expanding during COVID when restaurants are suffering.
It's interesting though. I'm happy to hear that like more Black-owned businesses are coming to Nassau, Suffolk County, because I feel like a lot of them are concentrated in like certain pockets of Nassau, right? But then it's like the further east you drive, it's like, okay, there's like 4, there's 5, right. But like I can't wait to try her food. It'll give me another reason to just go take my camera for a walk and eat, right?
And blog about it, right?
She's great. Her food, I highly recommend it. But you know what? It is just important to be, and again, we support all businesses. We support all Long Island, small, local businesses. We want our entire community to survive. In fact, I was on the phone yesterday with New York City and Company, and they're, New York City is in, thank God they just announced they're reopening restaurants now, 25% capacity again for indoor dining. Because our restaurants, our businesses need our help. They need our help. And I'm all about like supporting the city that we love, the people that we love, our island that we love. But it's really important to just recognize. I think this movement, and Alicia, what you're creating is something where, you recognize that, yeah, I am supporting a Black-owned business or a Latino-owned business or a Native American-owned business, and just being like, it matters. It matters who we patronize and who we support to make sure that we exist as a diverse community, and that we support and we welcome everyone to our community, because that's what makes us stronger.
Yeah, no, for sure. And there was some crazy stats saying like 40% of the businesses will probably shutter because of the pandemic. And I'm like, that breaks my heart. Like, and for selfish reasons too. Like, I don't like cooking all the time.
Thank
I'm like,
you, girl. Me too.
Where shall I go for food if all of the restaurants will close? But all jokes aside, like, I think as a community, it is important that we are intentional with how we spend our dollars and where we spend our dollars, because so many families are impacted. So many family-owned businesses are impacted just, by how we spend our money. And I really pride myself on, being now this, I guess, homegrown Long Islander. I bought a house here, so I'm like, it's permanent. Like, it's for real.
You're here, girl.
You're stuck, now. Girl.
I'm like, I should probably get rid of my Florida number and then like make it official and get like a 516 thing. But no, it's really important that we do continue to support them.
No, you're here now. It's so funny. I was just going to bring up this. There's a great show. God, I don't know if it's on Netflix or Apple TV or Hulu. There's so many streaming services now that it makes me insane. But I highly recommend it. It's called Pretend It's a City. Have you heard of this?
No,
and it's
haven't.
Fran Leibowitz. And Fran Leibowitz was a great writer. She is still a great writer in the 70s. But she's like this very cynical New York. She's like she'll say she's a New York Jewish girl, and she's born. I think she's from New Jersey originally, but came to New York. What'd you say? It's on Netflix. Okay. And you made me think. I wrote it down when you were talking about it. It's called Pretend It's a City, and it's about living in New York. And she's so funny because she's very cynical, very jaded, but brilliant mind. And she says that she just says it like it is. And somebody was talking to her, and they're like, why don't you leave New York? She's like, okay, where am I going to go? You tell me where to go. Tell me where to go and why. And what do they have that we don't have here? Tell me.
Yeah.
She's like, I know everyone moves here because what they don't have there is New York. So,
right.
And I was like, it's really great. And she makes fun of the city, and she talks about how ridiculous it is. And we always do this too. We make fun of Long Island, and we talk about it's ridiculous. Okay.
The nuances and whatever.
Oh my God. When I first got here, it was like, you're not from Long Island. You don't have an accent. You don't say Long Island. It was like, what? Is that a thing?
You kind of said it with a Jamaican accent just then, right there. Right?
What is that?
I saw your Jamaican accent came out.
Or the whole thing with bagels. Like, I got judged really hard for buying bagels from, like, the supermarket.
Nope. Yeah.
Yes. You got to go to the local bagel store.
Although the supermarket bagels are good. I'm telling you, where I came from.
A lot of the times, though, they are, like, provided by the local bagel store.
Because, I mean, back in the West Coast, they think, and I should be here, there's, like, chain, I won't even say the name of the chain, but they're, like, national chain bagel stores that we thought were bagels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
And so my
it's something in the water.
My daughters now, we go over, they're like, what is that? What is that joke of a bagel?
It's garbage.
No. They're
garbage.
Like, no.
Alicia, it's something in the water, right?
I think so. I was just like, I'm sorry. Like,
pizza and bagels.
I mean,
you never had pizza like you had here, right?
I know.
But to really, and it's great because you've clearly immersed yourself into Long Island, into our local businesses, into the culture and community. And once you do that, I feel like there's no going back, because it's not easy to live in New York or New York City or Long Island, and it's expensive, but it's amazing. And once you've had a taste of, you see the opportunities here. And you said, I wrote down what you said. You said there's always an opportunity to educate, which I agree. But you know what I love about our job and what we're doing here today is there's also always an opportunity to learn. And that's what we are trying to show, is that with this, I mean, we're going to support Black-owned businesses all the time because they're local businesses, they're Long Islanders, and we support our community. But this month of Black History Month gives us the platform to highlight and elevate and showcase. And what a great way to learn. And I've learned even from Down the Rabbit Hole Wines, and we're going to showcase some businesses each week of the month based on our theme. So next week we're talking about, Valentine's. We're going to showcase some Valentine's businesses. But I think it's just a great way to integrate all of the businesses that we have on Long Island and give them the platform to say, I'm here if you're looking for me, and I'm going to give you a great product.
But one of our teasers, Alicia, is that you're going to be a guest blogger for us for Discover Long Island. I'm excited for that. That's cool.
I'm so excited about that. I'm going to tell you all of my favorite spots in Nassau and Suffolk for brunch.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool.
Oh my God. I
Very
cannot
cool.
wait to read that and see it. So we're going to be highlighting Alicia on our blog. And also, you like I said, each time you make a connection, like we made a connection with you, which gave us the connection with the wine store, which gave us a connection. And when I went to, when I was out and about last weekend filming Long Island TV, African American Museum, meeting Miss Pierce, I'm like, okay, she needs to be on a history, because we love history. We're like super history nerds here. So I'm like, oh my gosh, now I know who to call for history segment. And when I met Winnie, when I met Chef Tremont, she's like amazing, but from Winnie's Chef T, she calls herself. She, my wheels were turning the whole way home because she's opening a new location, and she's like, I can't wait. You guys should help me promote it. And, we're a membership organization, Discover Long Island, right? So it's minimal. It's a few $100s to be a member of our organization for the whole year. And we have a tremendous amount of resources we put into those.
Our benefits are really.
I mean, honestly, we get over 1 million hits a year on our website, and we do all these shows and programs and TV shows where we drive that. But you know what? It struck me on the way home because I was thinking about her, and I was thinking about some of the businesses that you have introduced us to, and I thought, you know what a great thing. And so I get to announce on the show, one of the things we're doing again for February for Black History Month to celebrate is we're going to do a $5,000 grant of partnerships to Black-owned businesses to join us, right? And so I'm like, we just decided, what a great opportunity for us, to be able to welcome them into our fold, to show them what we can do for them, and to get them involved as our partners in our businesses and support our communities. So we're definitely excited about bringing the wine shop and Winnie's and a lot of our partners, and you, by the way, as a partner, we're going to grant you
and you can help us get the word out for that.
Here I am, guys. Let's do this. It's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. So we'll be following up. You'll fill out the application, but there's no charge because, it's a mutual benefit from our perspective, is that, it's one of the things that we talked to our board about it. We got approval, and they were like, yes, let's do this. Let's bring these businesses on and support our community and highlight them so that we all live a better Long Island life.
I love it. You guys are simply amazing. Like,
we love you.
I'm teary-eyed person, but I'm like, I'm gonna do the ugly cry thing. But no, that's really beautiful. And I appreciate you guys for opening up your platform and for really, just showcasing how beautiful of a place this is to live and how we all live so well together and continue to strive towards greatness. So I'm so happy.
Well, thank you for, your time and attention. I know you're so busy during your day, and to make time for us, and you've honestly helped us so much behind the scenes already. And we are really looking forward. We'll be following up with you for your application, but we are looking forward to working with you all year and supporting you and your efforts. And I want to thank you for what you've done for our community, because,
Definitely.
At the end of the day, you see Sharon's shirt, our merch, Where I Belong. And that's what we're about, is where we belong is on Long Island. And when we all work together, we lift up this amazing, beautiful community. And plus you're just fabulous. You're so cute, by the way.
You are so fun. And even just in the beginning when I was like, did you paint that behind you? Because you're an artist on top of everything else. I mean, that's just awesome. And thank you so much.
I do the most, but thank you guys.
All right, well, try to stay warm this weekend, Alicia, in the frigid cold, and get us. Okay. Oh yeah, Alyssa's telling me. Okay, I'm gonna read this. Okay, so if you want to find Alicia, and we'll have all of this in our notes of the segment too.
Yeah.
But
we do this all the time.
Yeah, blackownedlongisland.com, all spelled out, and then you can follow her on Instagram at blackownedli, and on Facebook what is that? Hashtag? No, what is it? Just Black Owned Long Island. No. There's a hyphen. That's what it's called. Sorry. I'm gonna blame that on down the rabbit hole. That's their fault. I don't know. I forgot the word hyphen.
I don't even know it anymore.
Passion, right?
I forgot the word hyphen.
No clue.
It's black.
We will put it all in the notes, though.
Black-owned Long Island spelled out. We'll put it in the notes, but anyway, thank
you again.
We're
for
really
joining
looking
us.
forward to everything working with you. Try to stay warm this weekend.
You too. Have a good one, ladies.
Bye. Thank
Cheers.
you. What an amazing woman and inspiration and community member. And this is the new generation. She's young, right?
Definitely.
She's younger than us, do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
She's probably everybody.
I mean,
when you
we'll
get
go
to
with that.
Okay, when you get to the point where everyone's younger than you.
Yes.
No, you're 10 years younger than me.
No,
so
but you ever see that meme? I've gotten this meme sent to me probably 5 times already.
Oh.
And it's like, I apologize for calling you old when I was 18. 5 different people sent that to me, and
You're
I'm like, turns out.
What are you trying to say?
Turns out,
Okay,
fine.
so here's my other funny story, Sharon, before we get into our tea and teasers, is that we've filmed the next segment, which, is Valentine's Day. It's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which we're all very excited about. Do you do a big Valentine's Day? What do you do? No. You've been married for 20 years, right? How long have you been
Seriously. Been together for 30 probably. Like, we're just ridiculous. I don't even know. But no, we don't. We used to. We used to go to this one restaurant every year, no matter the weather.
Is it the Lynbrook restaurant that you
whatever.
talked about? Is it that one?
No, that just opened recently, but it used to be called, it's now Whalers in Bayshore on the water. It's beautiful. It used to be called Molly Malone's. It was this old Irish restaurant that, my father used to go to it when he was younger, so it was one of those like traditionary things. And my husband and I would go every single year, and we would share a shepherd's pie, and it was so cute. But that stopped because they closed, and then we had children. And
there it all goes out
the window.
So yeah, exactly. But I was going to say the reason I was talking about people being older than you is we were filming for our next episode, which is a bougie Valentine's Day. How to have a bougie Valentine's Day on Long Island, because Long Island can be very bougie.
Definitely.
We're known for the Hamptons.
Right.
Let's be real. So we have a couple of really great partners, and we went to feature them, which will be next week. I guess this week on the episode. And one of them is this very luxurious car service rental. Lamborghinis, Bentleys, convertibles, Ferraris. It's amazing. So I'm there, and this cutie patootie. This is how you know I'm from Texas and also old.
No.
So cute, this young man, and he's like,
Texas. This young man, because
I don't want to call him a kid. He was a very impressive young man, and he was the guy that they put up next to me to interview. So cute. His name was Hayden. And I was like, "Oh, Hayden, have you actually seen Long Island TV?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, that's how we found you. My mom watches you." He's like, "My mom loves you." And I was like, okay, I'm in mom's zone.
Does mom listen to our podcast?
Yeah, I said that. Literally, I was like, does your mom listen to our podcast? And he's like, yes. She follows you on Instagram. She's like a total. I'm like, so I didn't get her name, but cheers to Hayden's mom from Cloud9 Exotics. Definitely. Because thanks to Hayden's mom, he was like, my mom sent me your stuff and your show. And he goes, I thought I had to reach out to you and say, you should feature us. And it was a great product. Awesome. And we did. And it was amazing. Yeah. And it was.
I know. I'm excited.
Yeah. So, it's just so funny that now these channels and shows are bringing in people that are businesses that now we get to work with. Thanks to Hayden's mom, who I was like, is clearly our demographic. Cool. I know. Okay. So, you know what else was awesome this week?
What?
I have to say, We got a couple of reviews, Sharon, that just blew me away.
They're so awesome. I love it.
Okay, so I'm going to read the first one, but let me just tell you, the reviews that we're getting that are coming in, we appreciate you so much because Sharon and I read every single one of them, and we're going to write each of you back. And of course, we're putting in, like, now we've got this great merch. I'm wearing my merch again because I'm obsessed. I wore it last week, but now I'm wearing it again.
And you got to promote, right?
I love it. I will tell you, anyone that's looking to buy this t-shirt, I love it. It's fitted. It's very flattering. But just so you know, it is fitted, and I would size up one or two sizes because it does, like, it's not crop, but it is like shorter. So I want everyone to be happy.
It's a women's fitted shirt.
Yeah, I like it because I feel like it's really flattering, and it's very comfortable. But also, I want people to like our merch and to not be upset. So, or if you want to be like more like comfortable and like, so what you're wearing, Sharon, I wear that all weekend.
I love this. This is like my new favorite. So we already had like the DLI Island Strong collab sweatshirt. That's awesome. And, you know, I get it. I wear it and I get compliments all the time. But this one is the Champion crew neck, where I belong, Long Island sweatshirt. And I just loved it.
It's the most comfy sweatshirt of all time.
It's so cozy. Like, I live in it all the time.
Yeah. So if you're looking for something like just more like comfy and loungy, I live in that literally all weekend.
Same.
And the other thing I live in all weekend, and I just want to give one more shout out from our last Long Island TV episode, are my sweatpants that I love that say Long Island.
I need
Sharon,
them.
I'm a bad friend. You know what? I'm going to email her and I'm going to order you a pair because they are so amazing. You will love them. They're actually super reasonable. Everything in there was very reasonable and very high quality. And so I want to give her a shout out too, because if you're looking for something that says Long Island or North Fork, it's 631 Apparel at the Eastwind Shops. Okay, so I'm going to read you. We have so many reviews now because I think we've been saying we like the reviews and we read them.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I want people to know. It's really important to us. So here's a review. Ready? Okay, this is Malicious34. And that's malicious, like MOLICIOUS, right? Not malicious, not MAL, but it's probably like Mo-licious, okay? So she's Mo and she's delicious. That's what I'm going to say. Or he. Or he. I don't know. Don't assume the gender. Whatever, right? But, so this is what Malicious34 says. Day drinking at its best. Which makes me laugh. You girls have turned all of my hurry up and wait, curbside errands, and school-side pickups into the best day of the week. I love hearing your friendship and vast knowledge of Long Island's best come through in your chatter. Okay. She put a little heart emoji. I want to haunt all of your haunts and drink all of that wine. Oh my God, I love that too.
Awesome.
You know, that's so amazing. That makes me so happy. I love you, Mo. I can be a tea ambassador.
So cute.
If you need one. And I need to be besties with Dr. Reed and Dee Snider. Another fantastic show. I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to show my pod. See you next Tuesday. XOXOX. Okay. Yeah. We want to be besties we're besties with Dr. Reed, obviously.
So this one's a different one, but it's so cute. It's like, I love this one. I just bought Dr. Reed's book. You girls are the best, and I love your relationship on air. Keep them coming. I thought that was so
we've
cute.
had a couple of people buy Dr. Reed's book that told us. Everyone's like, oh, I bought her book. And you know what? How wonderful, because again, you know, we're supporting not only Long Islanders, but women supporting women, you know, women supporting Black-owned, you know, businesses, women supporting like professional, you know, doctors. I love that we're putting information out there, that we're all supporting each other. And so I love hearing that Dr. Reed's book is selling. And I hope, you know, when you read the book, those of you that bought it, leave another review. Tell us what you thought about it, because I want to make sure. We only recommend, honestly, we're not paid by anyone to promote that. We recommend things that we really believe in. And so I hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yeah, definitely. We have another one that's Kristen Y. It says, thanks, this was great. How about we organize a socially distanced walk with masks on Long Beach Boardwalk for us Long Island gals?
Kristen,
So
Dr. Reed does that. I love you.
Go to our website and we'll meet you there maybe.
No. Kristen, I love you. Dr. Reed will meet you there.
Far for you, but maybe
Dr. Reed will meet you there. Oh, there's one more.
There's another one.
Go ahead, read it, Sharon.
I love you two. You remind me of a combo of the delicious dish and Kaylee and Hoda. Kathy Lee and Hoda.
That
What's
was our
wrong with me?
goal. That was our goal.
Oh, and now I love Dr. Reed and I want in on that spa day when the numbers go way, way down, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers, 5-star review coming soon. This was on YouTube.
Cheers. That was Rachel Davis. That was awesome. Yeah. By the way, every time you guys reach out to us and send us your thoughts and your love, you know what I love, Sharon, is that every single person is like, I love your friendship. It totally comes through.
I know.
It's true.
It's funny. It does. It shows. And I think that, like we talked about last episode, this is fun. This is amazing. But it's still our job to promote and sell and advertise Long Island and get the local community involved the way we can.
We're not just promoting like how to travel here or what to do or see. We're promoting like the real.
Right. It's important for like this organic or, natural connection that you and I have, this chemistry that we have. I think it's important because that's the fun part, like the way you and I talk and the way we banter or whatever, that's the fun part,
It is. And I think, what I love what Alicia said is she's like, wow, she's like, I'm so grateful or I'm so appreciative how you guys lean into this conversation and it's real. We're not dancing over things. We're not trying to tell you, in a glossy brochure why you should visit or love Long Island. We're telling you what it's like to live here and be here. And we're accepting us for all of the opportunities and challenges that we have. And I think that authenticity really rings true. And that's why we have people that are, first of all, it starts with our residents embracing us and saying, yeah, you're really representing us to the core. You're doing a good job. And then when we do that, I think the people from around the country and around the world will say, oh, wow, that's what it's like to live on Long Island. And really, because your residents believe you. So do we. All right, Sharon, you know what time it is? It's tea time.
I think you should go first.
Really?
I mean, you probably have better tea than I do.
Okay. So my tea, it's funny. So while you were celebrating, this is just the difference in our lives. This is what happens when you have kids that are old enough to stay home by themselves or have their own, plans on the weekend. So then you kind of get your life back. So Thomas and I went out to Oldfield Barbecue, which is one of our favorite places to go last Friday because it was, we had filmed the tea. So I'd had some wine and I'm like, listen, I don't know what you think is happening for dinner. But
we need more wine.
But food needs to happen ASAP because I've had 4
and more wine.
And more wine. So we go to Oldfields Barbecue and in Setauket. And we're there and I'm wearing, of course, my T-shirt like this. And
so cute.
It's just like this little, what we talked about the villages. We talked about what Long Island's like. You all go. It's this vast place with 3 million people connected to New York City. But
I love what you just said. You're like, it's the villages.
You go home and it's your little village, and that's what makes it amazing. And so we go to Oldfield and we know the bartender because she came from another place we used to go to, Sweet Mama's. We're like, hey, you're here now. She's like, hey, guys.
So fun.
Yeah. And then there's this, it's like a little L-shaped bar. And one of these guys was from Thomas's old neighborhood. He's like, oh, you two. And these people over here, they're like, we own Fratelli's at Stony Brook. And the wife works at Stony Brook Hospital. And then this guy's an architect. So we end up hanging out. Best friends all night. And,
exactly.
It was so funny. And in fact, as soon as we're done here, before I leave, I've got to email Bob, which is the guy that we hung out with. Because he was loving it. He was like, we've got to do this every 2 weeks. We got to come back here.
He wants to be in on the date night.
Yeah, I was like, Bob, I'm scared of commitment. Okay, let's be careful with the commitment. But you do. every now and then you have those magical nights where everybody just
Definitely.
clicks. And it's part of the community here. It really is. To me, it was such an epitome of what I love about living on Long Island, that you run into these people that are your neighbors, or even in a neighboring village or a neighboring town, but you get to know them, and everyone, like, they started talking about the Culper Spy Ring, and I said, well, I just taped. It turns out we just taped a podcast about presidential history. And of course I know about the Culper Spy Ring, and you can listen to Long Island Tea. And they were like, what? Give me your card. We're going to tune in.
I love it.
And it was just such, it's one of those Long Island moments that I, having lived in other places, born and raised in one state, grew up in another, and they're all wonderful, but I really feel like it's a unique nuance to where we live on Long Island, and the deep, deep-seated love for people that live here and the history that lives here and the communities. It's palpable when you start to talk to people and go out, and it's just such a wonderful place. So I had to put that as my tea, and recommend that, if you. It's hard when you have littles, and I get that.
Yeah. You gotta get a babysitter, but 100% I agree with you.
Before you leave the house, I remember those.
You gotta pay more, but 100% agree with you. Even over the summer months or whatever, you go down to the Salt Shack and it's Cedar Beach, or your local. You're hanging out all night, and whether it's a high school reunion or a random Friday night where you're running into your old pals. I mean, we always talk about that. We always talk about how it's the big small town that we have is Long Island. But my tea this week is a little different. I mean, I always kind of go a little same. It's like a tea and a teaser. With you going on vacation in a couple of weeks, we're gonna do an episode where we meet the staff. And I think that's going to be so fun. We just kind of get to know what the faces behind Long Island, and discover Long Island, and just like the fun attitudes that we have, and the camaraderie that we have. I can't even speak, but I think it's fun, and I have a fun interview plan about this or that kind of thing.
Well, thank you, first of all, for carrying the tea podcast one.
Listen, I'm going to miss you. I just got to say that. I don't know. I'm going to miss you.
I'll be tuning in, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, you know what? We all have to live our lives. We have to go on vacation. And I thought, that's such a great idea, Sharon. And how awesome of you to introduce the staff, because we're always talking about the team at Discover Long Island. And let me tell you, it's going to be entertaining. I mean, you think Sharon and I are entertaining? Wait till you start to divulge into these girls. It's going to be really fun. I can't wait to tune in. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to interview them. I think it's just going to be a fun dynamic, because they're all so different. Our whole team.
And so talented and so dedicated and such great, Long Island ambassadors, each and every one of them. So that's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a good tea. Any teasers, Sharon? Or did we hit them all?
Well, we mentioned it. Alicia is going to be our guest blogger coming up. You mentioned the DLI TV that aired today. Next week is going to be the Valentine's episode, the Bougie Valentines. I think that's going to be fun.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. Wait till you see it. Tune into this week's episode if you haven't already about Black History Month, because let me tell you, it is so fun, so informative. You're going to want to go to Winnie's. You're going to want to go to the African American Museum. It's amazing. And also then the Bougie Valentines is going to be awesome. And we have so much in store for you on the podcast and on Long Island TV. So be sure and follow us at Discover Long Island and at Long Island Tea Podcast on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. And DM us, and please leave us those 5-star reviews wherever you download your podcast, because it does help us in getting our audience and attraction, and we love reading them. And we're going to be giving away.
Reading them on air, especially. I mean, that was fun.
I know. And Sharon, I cannot wait. We should have our new mugs, our Spill the Tea mugs by next week.
That's a teaser.
Yeah.
That's a teaser.
That's a teaser. So and we're going to be giving them away to the people that leave us the best reviews. So please do so. We love you. Thank you so much. And Sharon, cheers to you and your family. Hope everyone's safe and sound.
Cheers.
Stay warm this weekend, and we'll see you next
You
week.
too. Bye. Thank you.